Would anyone like to come up for a story this morning?
Yeah.
Hi, Catherine. Hi, Donna. How are you? That's good. I'm really glad that you're here. And I'm glad that you're all here too. And that's okay. You can see the story from there. Oh, except I need to get the box. We can't have a story without the story box. And this one's heavy and a little maybe dangerous this morning. Here we go. So, I wonder what the story is. Well, let's see what this story is. And this story begins where so many of our stories begin, in the desert, in the Holy Land, in the place where Jesus was born and lived and taught people about love and compassion, taught people about God. And this story happened it began in the little town called Nazareth. Nazareth was a small little, like a village, and most people there were farmers, but they were very, very poor, and life was pretty hard. And one person who lived here is the person that we know as Jesus by this figure in this cloth. And Jesus grew up here, and he lived kind of a normal life with family. He went to the synagogue every week and prayed and learned about God. But Jesus wasn't happy with the way people were being treated. Life was just too hard and there were too many rules, and he didn't think that that was fair. And he heard about this other man about his age named John. And John had left the village he grew up in, and he was living out next to the Jordan River. And out there, he was teaching people about a different way to live, a different way to love. And people were starting to leave their towns and go out and live with John. And Jesus heard about this strange guy in the desert that was teaching people about God, and he thought, I think I should go out there and see what that's about. And so he did. He went out and he listened to what John had to say. And he stayed there a long time. And Jesus really liked what John said about God, that God's Spirit was in everyone and around everyone. And if we paid attention to it, our lives would be better. And the way that John helped people to change their lives was he would take them into the river. They'd wade into the water, and when they were ready, when they felt that they wanted to live differently than they had been, they would go out and he would push them down under the water, and they would come up like new people. Also come up as wet people, but come up as new people. And so after many, many days, maybe months, maybe even years, we don't know for sure, Jesus decided one day he wanted his life to be different too. And so he went into the water, and John pushed him down
Oh, gee.
under the water. and he came up. And the story says that when he came up out of the water, all of a sudden, Jesus could see a dove come down from the sky and land on him. And he thought it was like the Spirit of God was landing on him. And he heard a voice, and only he heard it. John didn't hear it. None of the people around heard it. Only Jesus heard this voice. And the voice said, "You are my child, a chosen child. And you are the love and pride of my life." And Jesus, from that day on, started telling people everywhere about love and peace. I wonder why Jesus liked what John was saying. Because he's the Son of God, maybe. I wonder how Jesus felt when he came up out of the water. Wet? Cold, maybe? I'm not sure. I think the water's not too cold, but it depends on the time of year. I wonder why Jesus felt that he was loved by God. And I wonder how we know that we are loved by God. I wonder how we know that. Well, that's our story. We're going to sing another song about water. This is one of my favorites. It's called "Like a Healing Stream." And after that, all of the children are welcome to go with Margaret to Children's Church, and I'm sure there'll be something really fun to do there. So we're going to sing "Like a Healing Stream." And we're going to sing this as we have sung a number of times before by starting very, very softly, like a healing stream, and then a little louder on the second verse, like a gentle rain, and then even louder on the third verse, like a river strong. And then the final verse, we want to make the light fixtures shake, singing like a mighty sea. So let's sing "Like a Healing Stream."